My name is Albert, and in this video, we're going to talk about being a perfectionist, the unspoken meaning of the word, and how it can rob us of our motivation and halt our progress. You see, I consider myself to be something of a perfectionist, or at the very least, I used to. Whenever I would try something new, I would always want to be the best at it, or at the very least, one of the very best. It was a prime motivator that really drove a lot of the decisions that I made in my life. And while sometimes it was a very positive trait and something that really propelled me to do well at a lot of the things I've done, I've come to realize how much of a trap it actually was. So in this video, we're going to go over why I no longer want to identify as a perfectionist and how exactly I plan to do that. So I'm recording this video and I had one of the most meta moments I think I've had in a very long time. So I'm making this video about perfectionism, right? And I find myself doing take after take, trying to make sure that I have everything right. I have a script that I wrote out, well, like an outline. It kind of became a script. And look at it, like it is a non-zero amount of words that I have and a bunch of takes that I've already taken just for what, 30, 40 seconds or so a video. And I'm trying to make sure that I say everything exactly the right way, that I don't stumble over any words. And I'm like, I'm being a perfectionist right now. That's literally what I'm doing. So I'm going to try to do something a little different here. And this is for my own growth because I really don't like showing flaws. It's a really difficult thing for me to do. So rather than record this video in the way that I had originally planned, I'm just gonna try to do this one take. I'm gonna stumble over words. It's not gonna be perfect, but that's kind of the point. So I had two ideas that I really wanted to talk about, or really two instances of my life where perfectionism really had a profound impact. And like I look back on it and I realize how I could have done things differently or how I could have looked at things differently. So the very first one is about my time playing flag football. I had played softball for a few years and got pretty good at that. I'm really fast, so switching over to flag football was pretty easy for me to do. I started out as a wide receiver, and over time, I started to play quarterback for a couple of different teams that I played. And at the very beginning, it was really exciting. Like the idea of having this responsibility, having these big plays come down to whether or not I make the right throw or the right decision. I love that. Whether I won or lost, it was just really fun to play football and be in those moments. And over time, I started to get better at being a quarterback. And I have actually have some recording of me playing football back in the day. So I'll probably uh, put that in here too. But I'm gonna try to commit to this one take idea. So even though you might see me playing football, this is all this is all just one take. So as I got better at playing quarterback, I noticed that I would kind of enjoy things less because I wanted to try to make every correct decision. I wanted every pass to be perfect. I wanted to be the huge playmaker. That was the expectation and the bar that I set for myself. And anytime I fell short of that, I kind of put myself down. It was one of those like, oh, you're not good at it. Kind of go back to negative self-talk. And that became the way I looked at flag football. One of the biggest instances in that is one week we blew this team out of the water. We won like 49-7 or something like that. And I played really well looking back on it. But at the end of the game, everyone's all cheering. They're like, wow, like, we did really well that game. I was kind of bent out of shape because the one score that they made is an interception that I threw. And throughout that entire game, I just kept replaying that moment. I didn't enjoy all the good plays that I made. I didn't enjoy, every time I had a successful run or anything like that. Like looking back, I actually played that game really well. But I remember driving home just thinking about that interception. And looking back on that now, I can just see how being a perfectionist robs you of enjoying the progress that you're making. I think if I had to do it over again, I would say, like, all right, I could try to work on that next time, but you actually played really well. So why are you stressing out about this one mistake? Everybody makes mistakes. Um, as consciously aware as I was of that idea that everybody makes mistakes, it wasn't something that I really was easy on myself about whenever I made mistakes. If someone else messed up something playing flag football, it was like, all right, well, not a big deal. Let's just move on to the next play. But if I did something, it would really mess with me. Um, so I've kind of looked at life through that lens in a lot of ways. And that's kind of how I approached a lot of things where, there would kind of be this initial phase of trying out something new, and I didn't really have any expectations of myself directly. I always would try to, do really well or like be as good as I possibly could at something, or, I always kind of had that bar. But again, this would be the moment where I would just like stop the take outright. But I'm gonna try to keep this going because I need to get past being a perfectionist. So I always kind of kept that bar, but anytime I messed up, I would just beat myself up about it. And it was something that kind of fueled me, and I do think that I made some progress in a lot of things because of that. It is a motivator, but past a certain point, you stop enjoying what you're doing. And I kind of felt that even making this video. Like I kept messing up takes and having like stumbling over words and not doing something exactly how I'd want to do. And I felt myself getting kind of frustrated. I'm like, why can't I do this? And that's me being a perfectionist. Doing this for my entire life has kind of gave me another realization about being a perfectionist. And all it does really for me is lead to procrastination. Because let's say for this video, for example, or just this YouTube channel at all, um, generally I'd want to do a bunch of research on how to make a good video. I'd want to take a course or something and figure out the best cinematography and the best filmography, and really try to break down and analyze how can I make this engaging? How can I, you know, make a high quality video right out of the gate, and never really allow myself to grow um, and actually become good at it. And in that process, I would just kind of decide, well, I'm not going to bother really getting started on it today because I can't, like, the stars haven't aligned to where everything's going to be perfect. So I may as well not even try at all. And that would kind of fuel my negative self talk too, where it's like, if you wanted to try to make this channel, you're not great at it yet. You probably never will be great at it. So don't bother even doing it at all, because you'll just show people your flaws and mistakes, and that's not good. And I think perfectionism was kind of like a veiled source of comfort for me, where, I kind of patted myself on the back subconsciously because I had this feeling like, oh well, I'm a perfectionist. I keep a really high bar. Like I have really high standards. So there was kind of feeling a feeling good about that. Like I have high standards. That's something to be commended, I guess, in a way. But I would use that as an excuse to procrastinate or to not even try. And those are the two big aspects of why I don't want to be a perfectionist anymore. It robs me of the enjoyment that I would get out of trying something new, enjoying the journey as opposed to making sure that I get to the destination perfectly. I think doing like focusing on that would just have me stop trying a bunch of new things. And that's bad. I don't want to do that anymore. So this is literally an instance of me just trying to break through a pattern of behavior for me, where if I can't do it to a certain standard, I just try to avoid doing it at all. I don't like showing imperfection. Okay, so I know I said that I would just do that one take right up until the end, um, but I just kind of rambled on from there. So I figured to make this video concise and to deliver the points that I really wanted to make that are important to me for this video, that I would just do one more take and go over the two big things. So for procrastination, or so for perfectionism, the two big things I realize is that being a perfectionist damages my ability to enjoy the journey. And in doing so, I might never actually find out how much I can achieve if I never actually just put in the time to not be perfect and to get good at something organically. So I don't want perfectionism to get in the way of that. And I don't want perfectionism to be any kind of excuse. I don't want to be able to pat myself in the back and, have that be a subconscious thing that I feel good about, but I'm just enabling procrastination and avoidance. I just have to embrace the idea that I am not a perfect individual, and it's okay. And it's okay to show those flaws. Um, and those are the two big things I wanted to convey about this topic. I'd really love to know what you guys think about perfectionism. Is it something that you want to try to get away from? It has this video helped you look at things differently? Maybe is there something that you'd want to add yourself? Um, I really want to have these videos be a dialogue, so please let me know. If you like the channel, do all the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, and all that. But until the next video, my name's Albert, and I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much. All right, bye.